told me not to trip. I'm in my Ziploc, nigga. Feel like I got the best album out. I know I got the best album out. Preach. Yo. Let me hear that. Let me hear that.
All right, guys. Today we are doing arms. Arms is probably my best body part. I incorporated an arm day pretty much every week since like 2023, mainly because they were actually lagging a lot at first. If you don't know, originally came from like an ectomorph type of body frame, real skinny arms, skinny limbs, which is I think every body type has some sort of beneficialness to it. But as for the ectomorph body type, it has a beneficialness to it where you don't really have to lose any fat. You really just have to build muscle, get your protein in, and eat at a calorie deficit. Or, oh, my bad. Eat in a calorie surplus. So that's basically what I did to kind of puff my body up. I just started eating mass gainer, drinking a lot of mass gainer, which is something I'm doing now, which doesn't taste too good. Tastes like booty. Okay, mass gainer is disgusting. Tastes like sand, and it'd be clumpy. But basically, incorporated an arm day, and it blew up my arms like crazy. So that's one thing I recommend. Like, if you have a lagging body part, just incorporate a day for that body part, right? So one thing that I'm going to start incorporating now is a hamstring and a quad day instead of just a leg day. Incorporating hamstrings and quads. So I mean, yes, you could do the leg day where it's 2 leg days per week, and that will build up your legs, yes. But I think if you want the maximum efficiency, you should incorporate a hamstring day and a quad day, because then all your energy for that day is going to go to your quads. All your energy for your hamstring day is going to go to your hamstrings. So that's probably what I'm gonna do to replace my arm day. Working out about maybe like 5 times per week. I don't really do the whole everyday thing. I don't do the 6-day thing, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, right? When I first got into the gym, I did every single day, just because I wanted results that much faster. And I encourage people who really want it, beginner lifters, to do every single day, because you don't know the workouts, you don't know how to work out, you don't know, like, if you're doing the curl right, if you're doing, you don't really know what to do. So if you don't know what to do, the best thing to do is as much volume as possible. And since you don't know what to do, you're probably not going to get injured, and you're not going to feel all that sore. But once you actually start building muscle, especially as a natural, you should definitely utilize those rest days. The thing about me is that I work out pretty hard, and I work a full-time job, so I feel sore pretty much 24/7. Not gonna lie. That could definitely be offset by incorporating more protein. Lately, I've been getting about 100 grams in. Gonna try to up that to like 200 grams, but it is extremely difficult. But I don't know. There's always some way to work around that. Might just take like 2 mass gainer shakes a day. My mass gainer shake has about 1,200 calories, as well as 55 grams of protein, but you need 4 scoops to attain that. So it's kind of wild. But yeah, warming up here. Just kind of mimicking the movements that I'm gonna do. Always kind of warm up on the cables. Little tricep push down, little curl with just like the lightest weight, just to kind of get my muscles pumped up, get my body pumped up, get my mind into the mindset of I am working out. So my first set, I can really give all that energy and all that action to that set and not worry about, oh, I'm on my third set and now I feel the workout, now I feel pumped up. This was on a Sunday. The cool thing about Sundays, right? When you go to the gym on a Sunday, and I think this was at about 7 p.m., people in there are trying to get it, okay? Because it's like usually people don't go to the gym on the weekends. I don't know what it is. Monday, a lot of people go to the gym, but on the weekends, it's bare, right? So the people who are in there are really in there. So you're gonna hear a lot of grunting, a lot of people getting after it, this workout, and it's really inspiring. I love it. I love hearing the grunting and the because when I hear that stuff, I'm like, okay, I gotta go harder. I don't really like to particularly call anybody out on these videos. I even try to like not uh not film anyone too. Like if I see somebody like in the background, I try to cut them out. I mean, if you're in the background, it is what it is most of the time. But I do try my best to kind of have the camera only on me. Um, but I heard a kid, and he looked like what, like a couple years younger than me. He looked like he was in high school or something, and he was going ham on some front squats. So I don't really like to call people out, but shout out to that kid. All right, he was going ham on some front squats. It reminded me of me when I like first started working out. I was like, damn, that kid's going hard. So definitely inspired me with these curls right here. I usually don't do these types of curls. I just find cable curls and dumbbell curls to be a little bit more efficient, but I do like to mix up the workout sometimes just so number one, it doesn't get boring, and number two, I'm hitting muscles that I haven't really hit before. But yeah, not to toot my own horn, but arms are looking pretty good. So incorporating arm day for sure. A lot of people don't want to do it. They just do bicep curls or tricep extensions on the end of their push day or pull day. And I disagree with that platform, with that form of training. I don't really disagree with it, but I think I prefer an arm day thrown in there sometimes, just to make sure that you're hitting those arms with ferocity, right? And let's be honest, right? Your arms are like one of the most aesthetic muscles. I mean, they're the only muscle you can see for sure if you're wearing like clothes. If you're wearing clothes, you can't really see the chest, right? You can't really see the chest, can't really see the hamstrings. But arms and back, like that's something that just shapes your body so well. So either incorporate an arm day or do like arm shit at the beginning of your workout. Not at the end of your workout, because when you do it at the end, you don't have enough energy. Versus a whole arm day, boom, you got all the energy you need, right? Not gonna lie though, these felt like super heavy, super fucking. These felt crazy heavy. Try to do, like, man, I think that was a 50 that I picked up, and then I went smaller. So it was like a 40 pounder, and that shit felt crazy. Not gonna lie. I used to do like 80 pounds. I think it just like my form got better or something like that. It's weird when you like get more muscle, but at the same time, you get lighter weight. All right, standing tricep extensions. These hurt, surprisingly. Also did dumbbell extensions, which I don't know if those dumbbell extensions are cursed or something, but they never record when I want to record them. I have no idea. Don't know what it is. I set it up, did everything I had to do. Swear I pressed record, but it didn't go through. And it's kind of crazy because those dumbbell extensions were the things that built my triceps the most. I was having a lot of trouble building the outer part of the tricep. I think it's because I was just mainly doing a lot of push down stuff. What I really wanted to do with this one is the cable. It's got some weird ass name. It's called like cable Y tricep extensions, which is like a phenomenal workout. But thing was, the pin was missing for the cable. So I was looking for it. I was even watching this footage back, like, damn, did I lose it? But no, it was just gone. It's like kind of hurt. I was even about to take a pin from another machine, but I was like, maybe not, maybe not. Maybe I should just leave that the way it is. So that's what this is. That's what this contemplation is. But yeah, those like outer triceps, I had like such a hard time using them. Not using them, but like activating them, like building them up, and it made me feel like a 255 bench. And the guys I was working out with, they were like, "You can definitely do the 255 bench, the 2 plates. It's just your outer tricep is kind of missing." So he told me to do an exercise, which was like the seated push downs, and those helped a lot. But I realized that doing the standing tricep extensions were kind of the best, or not the standing tricep extensions, the seated tricep extensions, the ones that are like behind the back with the dumbbell. It's an old school type of workout, but just because it's old school doesn't mean it's not efficient, right? Everybody I tried to get on this exercise, they don't like it, mainly because it challenges your joints a lot. So it challenges like your elbow joints, and you got to build up your elbow joints at first, and then once you build up that joint in your elbow, then you're able to do an actual decent amount of weight. But if you sleep on it and you don't do it, then that elbow joint kind of fades or it weakens. As you know, with working out, and it's fine if you didn't know, but your joints, your ligaments, they actually take a lot longer to build than muscle. Which is cool about working out, which people don't really realize, is that like it builds literally everything. So people just think, oh, muscle, muscle, muscle. Like, yes, muscle, 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 but also joints, ligaments, even bones. Um, all of these things go through a remodeling stage where if you put stress on them, it creates many like stresses and many, not fractures, but like many little indents and stuff like that, and your body remodels to take on that stress. So exercising, working out, it can be very injury preventative, which is something I kind of want to like incorporate and like show to the world. Is like, yo, you don't work out just for to be a natural bodybuilder, to be a power lifter. Like, no, you exercise for longevity, right? Think about every day at the gym putting on 10 days of your life, because sometimes that's really what it is. Even if you just do gym training, cardiovascular goes up, joint remodel, bones remodel, your neuroplasticity even remodels, actually changing wirings of the brain where you get dopamine more from exercising. Sorry if you guys hear the train in the background. But yeah, man, all of that stuff matters a ton, especially when you get a little bit older, 60, 70, 80, 90. That stuff is going to have a huge factor on you. It really inspired me when I ran the Chicago half marathon, and I was seeing people running out there who were like 70 years old, 80 years old. And just because they incorporated, cardiovascular training and just training in general, they're able to run a half marathon, which is no easy feat. One of the hardest things I've done in my life was run a half marathon. I know David Goggins does it every morning, but it was extremely difficult. But seeing these like 80-year-olds like below right past me really like inspired me to be like, I can live to 100, 170, 180 maybe, due to not only technology, but just building the habit of exercise resistance training. And for the older population, you don't really need to work out like 5 days per week, 4 days per week. I mean, literally, when I get more clients, I'm literally probably just going to suggest, hey man, 3 days a week, 15 minutes on the treadmill, and what, like 3 exercises. Now, I don't recommend that for younger people. If you're young, if you're in your 20s, if you're a guy, go extremely hard, destroy your body. But for like the older population, man, 3 days per week, in and out, 45 minutes, and you just put like 20 years on your life just by doing that. That's why I love Fit Body U too. I love the message of it because they really promote that. I think with this gym, which is kind of funny, you can't even get a membership online, right? You have to walk into the gym and get a membership. So that's something really cool that I like instantly enjoyed because, a lot of people get memberships from, Planet Fitness, Crunch, I don't know, just like commercial type gyms. They get these memberships and they don't really use them. And with the owner of this gym, he's like, yo, if you want to use this gym, you have to actually walk in the gym, which is incredible because it's like, okay, I'm already here. If you're not used to exercising, right, you're going to walk in there, you're going to be like, okay, I'm already here. What's next? I'm already here, already signed up the membership. Might as well train. And then boom, that's your first day of working out on the books, right? You do a couple exercises, you're like, you know what? This is not that bad. I actually quite enjoyed it. I actually like the dopamine, the stimulus. I don't feel super duper sore. Then maybe next day you come in again. The next day you come in again. So right here, this is just kind of pump stuff. The dumbbell lateral raise. I do a couple bicep curls. Even a little pressing movement. Even a dumbbell Damn, I always forget the name of the exercise. You know, dumbbell press, whatever it's called, shoulder dumbbell press. These were heavy though, man. I picked up the 35s. I was like, yeah, I got this shit, you know, because I swear I used to get it, but then I was like, looking at myself in the camera. I think like literally right there, and I was like, I'm not doing this right. You know, I'm using too much momentum, which is cool. Like I could pick up the 45s and use its super momentum and, you know, look super cool on camera and stuff. Or I can pick up the 25s, put my back on that bench, and actually do the exercise right. All right. Go to failure on that and then use momentum. To me, it's like you got to earn your momentum.
So yeah, I believe I did like 8x3 on this one. I've been doing this. I've been having this crisis recently where I'm trying to keep the rep range strict, and I'm trying to go like 1 or 2 reps before failure. But now I'm thinking that I'm gonna start incorporating a lot more drop sets, a lot more supersets, a lot more going to failure, and not really caring too much about the rep range. I think that uh going like 8x3, or 3x8s and 3x10s, and staying within a strict rep range and then stopping the exercise. I'm not saying that's bad. I think that's good. But I do think randomizing it a little bit more, shocking the muscle, as they call it, a little bit more, and just kind of going balls to the wall. Like, for example, right, picking this up, doing like maybe eight, maybe like three sets, but then having a 20 pounder or 25. I try not to go half. I try to go when I'm doing a drop set. I try not to go half the drop set. I try to go like 2/3 of the weight I was previously using, and then having maybe like a 35, or like a 30 right next to me, right? And just using a lot more drop sets just to maximize, get as much as I can out of the muscle, because I'm at the point now, especially with my upper body, that it's getting pretty advanced. I'm getting to the advanced, quote unquote, stage of lifting where I'm going to need a lot more resistance. So I think staying in the whole 8x3 and then literally just doing 3x8, 3x8, and literally just doing 3x8, then putting the weight down and going to another exercise. I think I'm gonna have to change that up a bit and then start doing drop sets. Start maybe doing supersets, incorporating a little bit more complexity to my workouts. Even maybe like, I don't know. I got a lot of good ideas that I will incorporate the next time I work out, which should be tomorrow. Hopefully, this comes up. This goes in or goes up on the 3rd, which is the plan. But yeah, that's my thought process. But yeah, these curls were super fun. I love doing these curls. Not as much as hammer curls though. Not as much as hammer curls. Not as much as dumbbell curls. But these were a big staple to build my arms up at the beginning. But man, that 40 pounder was feeling like 80 pounds. I swear I could do 80 pounds. I can do 80 pounds, at least for like a couple reps. But that 40 pounder was feeling like 80. So with this set, I was kind of messing around a bit. I'm not gonna lie. This was like mostly kind of pump stuff, exhausting the muscle a little bit more, not really counting the reps, just kind of going to failure. I like doing stuff like that here and there. It's kind of like how I said with the whole concrete marble example. I think it's a really good example, so I try to like clean it up every time I think of it. How with bodybuilding, you're literally sculpting the muscle. So you want to start off with some heavy, like a big chisel, and that big chisel you can liken it to a heavy weight. So that 40 pound um unilateral, or is that bilateral or unilateral? Little two-handed movement where I'm using both my arms, right? That can be likened to the big chiseling. I'm just trying to get big biceps on that. Whether when I'm going more to a light hammer curl, a light dumbbell curl, I'm using the small chisel. I'm trying to get that peak. I'm trying to get, you know, that vein. Oh, that vein is upper on my bicep. Okay, let me target that upper bicep a little bit more. That's what I'm trying to do when we're talking about lighter weight. right? So that's my whole philosophy about it, and I think that's why my I'm gonna say my body's more aesthetic. You know, that sounds kind of weird, but I think that's why I've gotten far enough because I've kind of just remembered that principle that like you're with bodybuilding, you're trying to sculpt the muscle. They've really been big into powerlifting. When I was first getting into the gym, I kind of did like a power building type of style. I really was that big into it. I'm just not that big into like numbers and um I wouldn't say numbers, but like I'm just not big into like that one rep max. What's your one rep max? I think it's cool though, getting like super hyped about it and stuff, but always been more into like, oh shit, I got a new vein. Oh stuff, oh look, my upper chest development is like a little bit bigger, and creating that like superhero type of body. That's what I've been more into, or at least, or even calisthenics, learning calisthenics moves. That's been my like fitness type of genres, more liking to kind of like learning calisthenics moves and I get getting the best, most symmetrical, perfect body possible that I can achieve in this lifetime. And running endurance training as well. I'm big into endurance training. I actually do. I want to do something, but you can't tell people your goals, guys. I talk about it in the videos. You got to keep your goals on the low. I probably already said it before, but yeah, I do want to do an endurance type of race. I'll put it like that. Um, but yeah, big into endurance training. Endurance training is so much different than bodybuilding. It is just so much different. I think that it's a little bit, I'm not going to say better, right? But when it comes to the mind, yes, with bodybuilding, you have to have a strong mind. You have to have a strong mental fortitude, mainly because of those last couple reps that really grow the muscle. You really have to lock in and ask yourself, am I doing the correct form? And pushing yourself. But with endurance training, it's every single step. And I think that is the coldest thing ever. You start off the run, kind of sucks. The middle of the run, not that bad, but still gonna have moments that kind of suck. It's like when you go on a run, you are accepting that this is gonna suck. Like no matter what, it's it's actually so cold. Like you're like, damn, I got 5 miles today. You know what? You just know in the back of your head that third mile, that one's gonna suck. Maybe one day we do similar type of vlogs with preparing for a different type of race, but we'll see. So here goes the pose down. Camera angle was all messed up. I wish they had a posing room, but they don't, unfortunately. So I have to like go into the bathroom and do my thing. Pause. But that pose down's kind of ass. I think I do some okay poses here and there. Was kind of thinking of like what poses I'm actually gonna do on stage instead of just like doing random poses this time. I am signing up for what's it called? The board shorts division, whatever it's called. I mean, I literally forgot the name. Oh, men's physique. That's what it's called. Men's physique. Mainly because I need a couple more years to build my legs up. I think it's an easy one to kind of enter as a beginner, getting used to cutting calories, getting used to bulking, and just adopting that type of lifestyle. I think when I first start, it's good to just kind of do that one at first. That's the one I've been told that I can do the most um, by from like bodybuilders and people who actually are competing in the sport. They say you'll be great at men's physique. I can already tell by your physique. So
So there's a pose down, not a great pose down. Didn't love this angle, unfortunately. They used to have a posing room, but now they don't. They put more exercise equipment in, which I can't really get mad at. Is what it is. Going to start, not going to start, but I'm gonna work out at a gym that has a posing room. I got 2 gym memberships, so. But the only thing about that gym is they might not let me record. I don't know. It's like a gym for older people. So I didn't really get much of my arms because I couldn't really see the camera. I should have like zoomed out a little bit. Yeah, posing is not great. Definitely got to work on my posing before I go on stage. Already asked somebody for some posing advice, and he's gonna try to get me right. We're gonna see what we can do. Side chest. Love that side chest pose. I'm pretty good at that side chest pose. It's like little things that you don't even think about. Like posing is a big deal. There's little ways you can make your chest look bigger, and you notice it on stage too. When I see bodybuilding competitions, you can tell who really knows how to pose and who really doesn't know how to pose. But that's it for today, guys. Strength and Strive community, one of the best hybrid communities on school. I think one of the only hybrid communities on school where we talk about running, endurance training, natural bodybuilding, health, and wellness as well. That should be a link in the description. If the link isn't in the description, text me, and there is a wait list as current of this video. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have whoever are like the first 10 people to sign up, we're gonna actually have those people have it completely free and basically be grandfathered into the program. So something that's gonna be, I don't know how much I'm gonna price it, nothing too high, like 17-20 bucks a month. Something that's gonna be that price, you're actually gonna get it for free, and there's gonna be a hell of resources in about hybrid training. So if you're really interested in that, I recommend checking that out. As well as I do one-on-one coaching where I like count your macros, give you daily advice about your fitness, exercises, your workouts. Check that in, as well as self-improvement coaching. Give me a question and I go over it. I tell you what type of books you should read, maybe what exercises you should do, what things you should incorporate into your life, whether it be nootropics, diet, whatever it is. All that in the description if you're interested, and I will see you in the next one. Externalize greatness.